أنعم بغراس الأخلاق بارزة صاغا أخلاقي.
إن اتقيتن فلا تخضعن بالقول فيطمع الذي في قلبه مرض وقلن قولا معروفا وقرن في بيوتكن ولا تبرجن تبرج الجاهلية الأولى وأقمنا الصلاة وآتينا الزكاة وأطعنا الله ورسوله إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا واذكرن ما يتلى في بيوتكن من آيات الله والحكمة إن الله كان لطيفا خبيرا. صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, takbir. So inshallah we'll keep the program fairly short and concise. We're hoping to have dinner in just about less than half an hour. So I want to thank you all for coming to the Continous Charity fundraising program. The Prophet said and the hadith is that when a man dies, all of his deeds come to an end except for three. The first is sadaqah jariyah, a continuous charity, a charity that benefits people and humanity even after that person has passed away. The second is beneficial knowledge, knowledge that is left behind that continues to benefit and continues to grow and help others. And the third are righteous children, children who make dua and pray for the deceased even after that person has passed away. So when we create a continuous charity, it actually embodies all three of these aspects. Number one, the charity that we receive is a continuous charity. Because as we collect it, we give it to people as a loan. And as those loans are paid back, it's loaned again and again and again. Thus creating a sadaqah jariyah, a continuous charity. What is this money funding? It is funding education. It is funding beneficial knowledge. One of the best things to fund, one of the best things that we can provide for is education. Because unlike disaster relief or other types of relief, which are extremely important, would benefit people who are in the worst and most suffering type of situations, when you help somebody get education, then they can then help other people as well. There's a saying in America, don't give a person a fish, but rather teach that person how to fish. So that way they can help themselves and they can help others. And the third is that we're creating the next generation of righteous children who can continue to benefit themselves and benefit the society and others as well. And this is where a continuous charity came from. This is where the name comes from as well. And one of the unique aspects about a continuous charity is that of course we go into communities and we raise money locally and we use those local funds to help local students go to college and get their higher education. So all of the money that we raise today, alhamdulillah, is going to be staying within the city of St. Louis, and it's going to be helping St. Louis students go to college and get their degrees and then pay back their education. Right now we give three types of loans to students.
Let me just begin with the keyword after fundraising. So Islamic fundraising. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. I need you to imagine with me for a moment in light of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in many places throughout the Quran, He guarantee of the life of this world. That contrary to many of us believe, is not life. The guarantee of the life of this world is death. Is there anyone here that can claim I'm not going to die? Impossible. Everyone will face that one. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every soul will taste death. So the promise is there. My purpose today is to tell you the obvious, to share with you what you already know. But it is to remind you, to motivate you, to prepare for that moment. When you enter that 6 foot by 2 foot by 4 feet or 6 foot deep plot, without the houses that we own, without the cars that we own, without all the wealth that we've amassed and accumulated, we will begin to lament, we will begin to worry, we will begin to complain that we didn't take advantage of what we could have. But as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned to us, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, if that doesn't move you to give, then I don't know what will. If that doesn't move you to prepare for that, for the hereafter, for the moment in which there will be nothing to aid you, there will be nothing to help you, there will be nothing to give you ease or comfort except the deeds that you do, I don't know what else I can say. When the son of Adam dies, nothing helps him except for the three sources. First is the something as simple as what this organization is seeking. No one, like example, no one says millions of dollars. No one says $500,000 or 100,000. Something each and every one of us can do. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. The little that you are able to do, that is your benefit. For the one who has nothing, the little that he has is equivalent to the one who has everything in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that mentality, my dear beloved brothers and sisters, let's go forward in this wonderful, wonderful program. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward and bless all of you, the families, today, inshallah. Our ulama, one of our ulama said, if you wish to see the condition, the situation of tomorrow, look to your youth. The way they are, the way they are provided for, the way they are raised, the way they are sustained by every aspect, the way the youth are, that is the way tomorrow will be. That is the way tomorrow will be, my dear brothers and sisters. If we cannot enable our youth to be productive, contributing members of society, then we can fail them. What kind of future are we giving them if we cannot allow them to enable themselves to teach themselves or to teach them how to fish? That we will look in our history, this is the last example I'm giving, we'll go to the station. When we look at the history of the Muslims, when we look at the history of the Islamic world, we find that the most successful era that we felt was when the entire world was in the Dark Ages. The entire world was in ignorance. The entire world was in from the dinosaur age, call it a dinosaur already, it's only been 6 months. What's $1,000 as an investment? Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, you are thinking about that thought that I talked about in the beginning. If you're thinking about that thought, which is dark, which is not war, which has nothing to accompany you except your deeds, but the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in, they used to go practice laying in the ground just to feel how lonely they were. Then you will begin to understand that I should have done whatever I could to collect $1,000 for my community, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to enable my brother to live a halal life. But the examples go on and on and on and on. It's not a bad investment, but rather the return is guaranteed. The return is manifold. The return is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Having said that, inshallah, can we get to suffer with Allah ta'ala in the amount of $5,000? The one who truly wants to make an investment in this community can we in the first stage to pledge that to Allah ta'ala for the sake of our future brothers and sisters. Can we give the first stage, inshallah, or anyone? I do not underestimate the sisters they're making too. Can we give the first stage or anyone in the amount of $5,000 to pledge or to open the door of credit to that, inshallah? Going once, going twice. The door is open close, so let's go lower. Can we give that back tonight? The last time we're going to ask, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you be with those whom you love. If you love what Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu did, do like him. Take that opportunity. Optimize on that iman that will burst in pledge to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first thing, last time I will ask a $5,000 for Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed it will happen. You see sitting in front of you a card that looks like this. Let me tell you one thing. It's not decoration. It's not there to help make the table look beautiful. I'm going to ask each and everyone to take that card. Take that card and place it in front of you, please. And I know realistically, 90% of us, maybe all of us, we came tonight with a number in our mind. How much we want to give. I want you to take the pen and write that number on the card. Write that number on the card and put the pen down. Place it on the table. Come on, brothers and sisters. Let's do what we can, inshallah.
Let's switch it up for a second. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So today we're going to switch back and forth as the fundraising aspect of it. I learned that this tag team style actually is kind of fun, kind of excited, and it gets people more motivated. So I want to tell you all a story. And it's a story about the sheikh. And he's giving his presentation, right? And there's like hundreds of people in the audience. And the sheikh starts talking, and keeps talking, and keeps talking, and then half the audience gets up and they leave. And then he keeps going. This guy's like 7-Eleven, he keeps going, he keeps talking, his mouth never stops.
There's an Imam. The Imam is always on the side. There's an Imam. His daughter came of age, is ready to be married. So 3 men were interested in proposing for his daughter. And you know how we are with our daughters. We're very specific. We like to do background checks, credit checks, this checks, that checks, to make sure this is the best man. So the Sheikh, the man, he comes to himself, what should I quiz my students with? So the first man came and he proposed, and this man, his name is Ibrahim. So the Sheikh thought, he said, let me test it with the Quran. He said, since your name is Ibrahim, recite Surah Ibrahim. So the man began to recite Surah Ibrahim. And he recited as much as he could, but he could not complete it. So he was turned down. So the second man came and proposed. The second man's name was... So the Sheikh decided the same thing. He said, let me test the man's Quran. Why don't you recite Surah? So the man, he would recite what he knew, but he could not make the cut. So the Sheikh denied him and sent him away. The third man, and his name was Yasin. And he came to the Sheikh, and he told the Sheikh, my name is Yasin, but the people call me Quteiba Abbasi. The people call me Quteiba Abbasi. He gave the point. Anyhow, brothers and sisters, like what it said, there are students that have already applied and requested your assistance in saving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's a simple $50,000 for this trip. I want you to imagine like it was you who needed that help for school. I want you to imagine it is your daughter or your son requesting this assistance. How would you feel, or how would your daughter or your son feel, getting the news that they would not be able to continue their education this year because there's no funding? And no one likes to be the bearer of that news. No one likes to say no, because it really crushes the morality of the students, the kids, the youth. I mean, to the extent that you know better than me, you see it. Well, where is it to? When our kids do not see higher education, they go to other avenues. They do other things that many of us as parents, as fathers and mothers, we look down on. Let's enable these youth. Let's enable these children. Let's enable our children, our community to become better and better, to help others to become better, to encourage their friends and their community to become better, and so on and so forth. What is $50 a month like that worth? In the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. $500 or $600. Can we get 10 people with $600 inshallah in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Just $600. That's $50 a month. Can we get hands inshallah? For those of you who I know, you have great intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. You don't want to raise your hand out of shyness, out of modesty. That's very commendable. But in a case like this, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to ask the greatest of us, the most shy of us, they would come and they would put forth in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because the need is dire, brothers and sisters. Can we give the hands, inshallah, for the sake of Allah, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for 10 hands of $600, inshallah. Can we give the first, just one minute? Allahu Akbar. We have one that inshallah, keep the hand ready, and fill the product until they come to the box, inshallah. Allahumma barik lahu wa ahiduhu wa awladahu. Say amen. Can we do the second, inshallah? We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless him, to bless his children, to bless his family. Let's take more time. Let's take time for everyone, inshallah. I'm not me. Inshallah.